this week on a brand new episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast.
Go ahead.
You said one thing we always say about Chris Paul is that he is a dog. That's true. Well, it's another thing we always say about Chris Paul. You know what that is? That he always find a way to get hurt in the postseason.
We supposed to be the losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime. I guess they wasn't in their right mind.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to a brand new exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast, the really sport podcast in all the land. I'm talking about in all the land. We back today to wrap up the previous weekend sports in dramatic fashion, man. No BS, no sugarcoating, no biases, only the strong arm truth. This happens to be the first time you guys have ever watched the show or listened to the show. I'm one half of the show. I go by the name of K-Spade the Prospect.
And I'm your boy lepararis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports Spade.
Yes, sir.
Got an action-packed show for him. Some things that I know you're going to get fired up about. I can't wait to get to those topics because whenever we talk to this person, you just, oh my gosh, Lord. You're so enamored with this guy. But
you don't know me, bro.
I know you. We're going to start in the NFL. That's where I want to be. I start the show off. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start in the NFL. Spade, I think you kind of like this guy too. We in the NFL, but I think you like this guy. I think we both like this guy. If I'm not mistaken, when we did our top 5 quarterback list, this guy was very high on both of our lists. And I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. If you guys didn't know, Aaron Rodgers he went out earlier in the season with a broken collarbone, and it seems like Ron is back. Ron said this Sunday right here, he will start for the Packers. They're trying to make this playoff push. Spade, I want to know, now I know we both love Aaron Rodgers, but coming off a broken collarbone, we've seen other guys with broke collarbones come back too quickly, and they re-injure that shoulder. I got to ask you, one, can Aaron Rodgers, even coming off that broke collarbone, is he capable of leading them back to the playoffs? They asked Aaron Rodgers, is he going to guarantee making the playoffs like he did last year when he was like, yo, relax, we're going to make the playoffs, relax. He didn't say that. He said, I'm not coming back to save this team. That's what Aaron Rodgers said. I'm coming back to play football and help my team try and get a dub this weekend. Of course, that old cliche, one game at a time thing players say, but I got to ask you, is Aaron Rodgers going to lead these guys to the playoffs? And what should we expect from Aaron coming back off this collarbone?
You know what? You probably going to be shocked at my reply, but if Aaron Rodgers is not talking that cocky, arrogant Aaron Rodgers talk, that puts doubt in me, bro. Because last year on this very show, we said, you know what? Green Bay is in trouble.
Word.
They are in trouble. And Aaron Rodgers poked his chest out and said, I don't understand what everybody's so worried about. We're okay. We're just going to run the table. And ran the table. And that's not the first time we've heard him have that calm and that confidence. Not hearing that calm and that confidence, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm looking at their schedule. My computer that I normally look at is kind of wacky today. So I'm looking at a secondary computer over here. And I'm looking at their schedule, man. They are at Carolina. They got the Vikings at home. They at Detroit, who always play them tough. Right now, they're sub 500. They're 7-6. If he don't think he can save this team and make them, you know, a wild card team possibly in the NFC, if he's not talking that confident talk, fam, I don't even know why you come back. You might as well let Brett Hundley handle that. You might as well sit there and get 100% and let's just try it again next year. That's what I say.
It's crazy because I'm gonna go the opposite way. I want to say I think Aaron Rodgers is internally cocky, but he don't want to spew that because I mean he's coming off that broke collarbone and he's playing some tough defenses coming up, some guys that get after the QB, especially with that Minnesota team. That Minnesota team, they are relentless. That's the game he got hurt earlier in the season. Him and Anthony Barr had some words, you know, and even Anthony Barr said some things even on social media. But I think Aaron Rodgers, I think he's confident, but I think it's more so internally. I know he usually blurts it out, but I think only reason he's a little more reserved this time is because he's coming off that broken collarbone. But I think internally, Aaron Rodgers is looking at that schedule and believe with him under center for the Green Bay Packers, he believes he can win all those games, and I think he thinks they can get in. The only thing I'm worried about is the carousel Green Bay has been having that running back. Now, it seems like they have this a solid guy now in this Williams kid, but they got Aaron Jones. We know they put Ty Montgomery on injured reserve. And if I want to see Aaron Rodgers connect more with, start the connection again with Jordy Nelson, who's been a shell of himself without AA running that lineup. I mean, Jordy has disappeared, and they got everybody saying Devontae Adams is the Packers' best wide receiver. I was going to say,
Cobb has disappeared too.
Cobb as well. I mean, we know they got rid of Martellus Bennett. With Aaron Rodgers, has always been he always been able to spread the ball around, get the ball to the tight end. I mean, Brett Hundley, it seems like he only looks for Devontae Adams, and nobody else touches the ball aside from Devontae Adams and that damn running back Williams. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to spread the ball around, and I think the Packers are going to make. Are they going to make the playoffs? I don't know. I'm still rooting for my Cowboys to get in, but I think he's going. I think he's going to make that push, and I think he believes that he can get him in. I think he believes he can get him in.
You might be right. It's unlike any Aaron Rodgers I've ever seen. All his confidence has been very outwardly. But anyway, man, let's move forward from one quarterback possibly coming back from an injury to one unfortunately leaving out of a really good season because of injury. And I'm still in the NFC. Let's talk Philadelphia Eagles second-year quarterback Carson Wentz. Man, look, I'm not an Eagles fan like that. Y'all know I felt some kind of way about my team giving Jay Ajayi to the Eagles, but even I had to say, damn, that's messed up when I saw Carson Wentz go down. Because this team was playing some of the best football you've seen this year. And I know a lot of people give them a hard time about their schedule. They're not playing the toughest schedule we've ever seen. But, I mean, they didn't make their schedule. All they can do is show up on the days they got games and outplay their opponents. And they've been doing that a lot. And you got to wonder, they still got, a quality backup in Nick Foles. But you got to look at that team and you got to wonder how it's going to impact them. And I'm going to throw this thing to you. Philadelphia, is it a wrap for them? You still like their chances of what? And not to make the playoffs, but I'm talking about to go somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I say, in all honesty, and I know people going to get in this comment section and they probably going to hate. They probably going to tweet us and they going to hate and be like, oh, you just a hater because you're a Cowboy fan. Spade, I never seen them going to the Super Bowl, bro. I didn't. And I don't know who's coming out. I don't know who's coming out the NFC. I don't know who's coming out the AFC. And that's one of the things that I like about professional football. Dolphins. You don't know who's going to win it. You don't know who's going to win it.
Dolphins.
Stop it. Stop it. I mean, y'all got a big win against the Patriots, but just stop it.
Damn right. Spade,
I didn't have them going to the Super Bowl with Wentz. So, I mean, I seen people saying, a lot of people was tweeting and was like, oh, no, Wentz, they're done. I never felt like they was going to the Super Bowl. But, I mean, they're going to make, of course, they're going to get in the playoffs. I think Wentz can, I think Foles can at least hold it down a little bit to get a couple more dubs. Maybe they'll lean more on the running game. They got a stable of running backs. They got like 4 running backs. They got a Ajayi, Blunt, they got the rookie kid, and they got Smallwood. Like, they got a slew of running backs. So I think maybe they'll lean a little bit more on the run game. Now, of course, Wentz was throwing 4 TDs a game. I don't think it's going to be that. But they got a solid defense. They got a solid defense. I think Philly going to be all right. But I never seen the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. So when people were like, oh, the Eagles are done, I'm like, done with what? Y'all got the Eagles in the bowl? I don't. But go ahead, Spade.
I don't like how you threw shade. They do have a stable of running backs. Unfortunately, neither of those running backs are Kenyon Drake. We can move forward, bro.
Spade, you ain't going to give me your thoughts on the Eagles? Like with no Wentz.
Oh, I agree with you. Like, it was one, but you know what? I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound mean, but then we can move forward.
Okay.
The year that Carolina had that phenomenal year, I always thought they overachieved. They played better than their record, and I kept saying, they not gonna. And they kind of kept going, and they kept going. And even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, I didn't have them going that far. You look at the most recent NFL season, Atlanta was having that great year, and I kept saying, I don't think this Atlanta team is that good.
You picked them to lose every week until like the playoffs.
Every week, and I did the same thing with Carolina. I kept picking them to lose, and they kept winning. And as soon as I bought in and said, "Oh shit, this team is for real," they said, "Oh, you're right, we ain't it." And then they decided to, kind of crap their pants. And the same thing happened with Atlanta last year. So I don't want to say that Eagles wasn't going to the bowl, but I didn't have them. But I could see this thing going the same way it went for Carolina and Atlanta. I could see the Eagles probably would have got all the way to the bowl and then realized, oh shit, we're the Eagles. We're not that good. And then they just would have lost. Same thing that happened in Carolina and Atlanta. So I don't know, man. Like, I didn't have them being that good either, but You never can say. I will say this.
I'm not even mad at them being good, Spade. I just even when they was running off 4 touchdown passes, putting up 50 points a game, I was like, I still don't see them going to no Super Bowl. I just didn't see them in the Super Bowl. And people want to say I'm hating because I'm a Cowboy fan. I just never, huh?
Did you see Carolina going?
Absolutely not. I mean, we talked about. I didn't see Atlanta in it.
Exactly. I mean, so this could have been another year of it. Could have been another year.
Nah, I don't know.
Fly Eagle fly. What do they say? Fly bird, whatever. I don't know they stuff, bro. Let's move forward. Next time.
Let's move. Let's Spade.
You good?
Hey, this has been a quarterback heavy show. We talking about another quarterback. One quarterback that you used to love. I always thought he was kind of.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You're right. I'm lying. I thought he was A2.
That's what it said.
But Spade, talking about RG3. If you guys didn't know, RG3 was on First Take, and he said him and Stephen A was talking, and RG3 said that he turned down offers from the Cardinals and the Ravens sometime during this season. Also said that if a team called him right now, he'd be ready to go Sunday. He did this interview during the week, and RG3 said if a team called him right now, he can get in their starting lineup and be ready to go right now, Sunday coming up. Spade. If RG3 felt that way, then why didn't he take one of those jobs with the Cardinals or the Ravens, both who were struggling at quarterback? Flacco went down at one point during the season, and we already know, if we know one thing about Carson Palmer, who had a resurgence out there in Arizona. He's been, when he's on the field, he played not this, probably the last 2 seasons.
Before that, sometimes he do.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? He had some big games. But if we know one thing about Carson Palmer, he's going to get hurt. And, I mean, why wouldn't RG3 go to the Cardinals? They got a slew of receivers. They had Adrian Peterson there. I think he's on IR now. And they got the quarterback whisperer, Bruce Arians. Why wouldn't RG3 take one of those jobs, Spade, if he feels he's ready to go right now?
You said he was on some show. I wasn't watching that show, but somebody must have did some piss poor reporting, because that would have been my very next question. But the only thing I can assume is maybe he's saying he's ready now, but back when he got the calls, he wasn't ready. I mean, that's the only thing that can make sense. Like, nothing else.
He ain't playing like 2 years. How you not ready?
I mean, maybe he had got adjusted to like the parent life. Don't he have some kids? Didn't he just have a couple kids or something like that?
Yeah, I think he got 2 little girls.
Man, kids, especially when they knew, like, my kids is older now. Like, I can be apart from them, but like when you got little babies, you can't even be apart from them. It's tough to. So maybe he had just got adjusted. I don't know, bro. But if he was on this show and he said he turned down 2 offers, and if he get a call, he can be ready Sunday. The immediate next question would be, you could be ready Sunday. Well, why the hell wasn't you? Like, what was? So I don't know why he didn't get asked that question. But RG3, he got probably. Listen, man, if you get 3 chances in the NFL, he might be out. If he gets another opportunity, I don't care who give him a call, and they might, because they would rather have him than Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
If he gets this call, listen, Robert, you better get your shit together, bro, because they already really don't like you. If you get another go and you anything less than phenomenal, you out of there for good. For good. And then it's really going to be parent life for you, bro. I don't know why you think he didn't take it, man.
I mean, I don't know, because it seemed, when you look at the Cardinals, it seemed like, maybe not the Ravens, but the Cardinals seemed like the perfect fit. It just seemed, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, I mean, solid O-line. They traded for Adrian Peterson. I don't know when they called Robert Griffin. Maybe they didn't have Adrian Peterson at that time, but they ended up trading for Adrian Peterson. Carson Palmer went down. I mean, who he scared of? Drew Stanton? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like,
Drew might be that man, coach.
I think RG3 would have went right in and been the starting QB. I don't understand why he wouldn't have. The only thing I can believe is what you said. Like, maybe at the time when they called, he wasn't ready, but I don't understand why he wouldn't have been ready when he hasn't played a game in like 2 years. Or like he's been on the couch for 2 years. That's a good point.
Because somebody need to check with these 2 organizations and be like, y'all contacted RG3?
Yeah, that's a good point. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I was one of those. Even though he was played for Washington, I had liked RG3. He came in the league and he set the league on fire. And I was like, man, this kid is going to be great. Had a bad run. Say it again.
I said he sure did.
Yeah, man, he had a bad run of injuries, and he just could never get right. And I always felt like he was more concentrated more on the outside stuff of football.
That's true.
Than football. Like,
that's true.
I mean, they had started the back for week 1 campaign. Like, he just got hurt. Like, let this dude rehab. I mean, it was just a mess. I thought RG3 was going to be phenomenal, and it's sad where it's come. He on another show pleading his case. Like, if somebody called me right now, I'm ready to go. Well, it seemed like the Cardinals was the perfect fit. Even the Ravens, you look at the Ravens, the way they running that football, and we already know the Ravens had one of the top defenses before they lost one of their top corners. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Flacco went down. Why not? I mean, at least you'll be on the roster. Like, Kaepernick just want to be on the roster. Nobody called Cap.
Nope.
I don't understand, man.
Called him some names.
I don't even have I can't even make an excuse for him. Like, what would be the reason? I don't get it.
Yeah, same, bro. Same. You ready to move forward? Can we talk about some NBA?
Yeah. I mean, it's some college football bowl games. It's like the you made it with 6 wins bowl is on, I think, if I'm not mistaken. We don't want to talk about that?
Hell no. Let's talk some NBA, fam, and check this out. One of our preseason, I guess, I can't even say like sleeper picks. One of our preseason teams to keep an eye on this year was the OKC Thunder. And everybody knows if you got cable, or even if you ain't got cable, if you walk by a newspaper stand, if you glance at the sports section, you'll realize the Thunder been somewhat of a disappointment this year. They long bright spot, if you ask me, was the fact that they found the moxie to turn up against Golden State. And we was all so sick of seeing Kevin Durant leave OKC and then kick their ass every time he saw him again. So I was happy to see them get it together for that one game. But ultimately, that team has been a failure. Now, in this 1 week, and I say on this show all the time, the NBA definitely gets the storylines. They do a hell of a job of making the dots connect and keeping you interested. They got it, bro. Don't get mad at them. You need to take some of this stuff back to the league so they can get it right. But in this 1 week, the Thunder kind of went on a bit of a road tour, and they got a chance to pull up in Indiana for Paul George's old team. And tonight, they're going to pull up in New York so Melo can see his old team. Now, before I ask you about how you think this trip back to the Garden is going to go, I want to talk briefly about what happened when they pulled up in Indiana. In case you guys haven't heard, in the last episode, I gave my boy Victor Oladipo Most Improved Player of the Year. We ain't even made it to the All-Star break. I went on and engraved his name on that award, and he's getting it. He's been playing well. The people of Indiana have been embracing him. And he is sick of being compared to Paul George. Every time he turn around, they talk about how much better this year he is than Paul George was last year. It seemed like that got into Paul George's head, bro. I looked at that game, and Paul George was trying so hard. He wanted to drop the Pacers off so bad, and he just played like crap. Now, OKC was able to get the dub. And it didn't even have to be that hard. Paul George gave them absolutely nothing. Do you see something similar to that going on when they pull up in New York, or do you think they learned from that Indiana road trip?
Speaking on the Paul George, and I also felt like the Thunder was trying to force feed Paul George.
They were.
Spade, we always say this about especially this year, about the Thunder. For whatever reason, they just not playing basketball. They not playing basketball. Man, it's like, yo, Paul George got to shoot. This is Indiana. Paul George got to go off. Yep. And the Thunder, I don't want to make this a thing about a segment about the Thunder. It's more so about Paul George going home and Melo going home. But even last night, they played Philly and winning the triple overtime. Then they had Philly to New York is not that far, but they had to get on a bus or something, pack their shit up, get on a bus and travel up to New York. Mm-hmm. And even last night, I felt like these guys was like, okay, I just shot against Philly. They was like, Westbrook was like, I shot. Okay, now I gotta let Paul George shoot. Oh, okay, Paul George just shot. Now I gotta let Melo shoot. Yep. And I think it's gonna be the same formula tonight. I think they're gonna try and force feed Melo. I just think the Knicks is not a good team, so I think they should be able to go out there and get a dub, especially with those 3 caliber players. I don't know if Porzingis is playing or not. He's a game-time decision. He might not even play. But if Porzingis don't play and the Thunder lose to the Knicks, Spade, because they force-feeding Melo and want Melo to drop 40 in the Garden, instead of just right now, it shouldn't be focused on force-feeding anybody. It should be focused on that team getting a win because they have been struggling. They look bad, bro. Like they was up by like damn near 20 last night to the Sixers. And Embiid, who has been, he played phenomenal last night, but you could tell the kid was exhausted. Not only exhausted, he was like banged up. Like he got some type of lingering injury he looked like he was about to die on the court, man. He played like 50 minutes. And that's not good. But they was up by like 19 or 20 points or something, and they let Philly storm back because I felt like they was like, oh, I shot? Okay, now you got to shoot. Oh, I shot? Now the other one got to shoot. Instead of just playing basketball. And I see more of that tonight with Melo returning to the Garden. But let me ask you, I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Do you see New York fans showing Melo some love, or do you expect boos? Because every time Paul George touched the ball, they booed the shit out of Paul George.
Yeah, I think they're going to give Melo love. And I'm going to tell you what the big difference is. Shout out to the homie Nate. We was talking about this with Indiana. He was like, I don't understand why they would boo Paul George. And I'm like, you got to understand. Paul George forced the trade. Paul George wasn't traded. Like, he didn't just come in one day and they was like, Paul, you out of here. Paul was like, I want out of here. And then he kind of left weird. Like, the way he left, he was doing things like saying that, you know, he told the teammates he got to get the last shot. I know he had another issue with the teammate. I think they kind of had
It was just a ton of shade.
It was just a bunch of stuff.
Larry Bird.
Yeah, man. And then he forced the trade. So you damn right you're going to get booed. Because you know what those fans are? They're not Paul George fans. They are Indiana Pacer fans. So if you connected to the Pacers, they like you. Once you out of there, they don't. And I expected him to get that. But Melo's situation was different. Melo took the high road a lot while Phil was dragging Melo. They really disrespected Melo. And I feel like most New York fans are going to look at Melo like, man, you know what? He could have handled that whole situation a whole lot worse. And I don't think they're going to boo him at all. I really don't.
I want to ask you a quick question about the Thunder, Spade.
Yeah,
Me and you talked off camera. I think we was in an Xbox party about the Thunder. And I was like, man, they might need to just blow this up. It's not working. Like, it's not working. And I want to ask you on camera, the Thunder, like, do you think, I know it's still early in the season, it's only like 25 games in, but should they, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep Paul George. I think Paul George is out. I think Melo look kind of old. I mean, Melo still can have them games. I think, they all are capable of having those games where they just explode.
Right.
But Melo looking old. I mean, we know what we're getting for Russ. Sometimes he's going to be, I love Russell Westbrook, but we know what we get from him. Some games he's going to be phenomenal. Some games he's going to be erratic. But you're going to get maximum effort from him. And Paul George just look, if it's Oladipo or Paul George, which is crazy, I'm picking Depot right now. I'm picking
crazy.
Depot. Yeah, I'm picking Depot. So, I mean, I want to add, the Thunder, should they blow it up? Should they trade PG13? What's wrong with them?
I don't think they should blow it up, man, because things have been terrible this year. And even in that, you can see the bright spots. The way they was able to beat Indiana wasn't because Paul George had a good game. Melo didn't have a good game. Russ didn't have a good game. The person they couldn't stop was Steven Adams. He was going wheels, and nobody talks about that guy. So if you can have your fourth or maybe even fifth scoring option on your team to at some given point pick up his game and carry, that's the kind of stuff that championship teams are made of. And people don't really look at it that way anymore. In this new current age of the NBA, it's about having a bunch of superstars. As many superstars as possible. Just sprinkle them shits all over the place. But that's technically, I mean, you can't say it don't work. I mean, I guess it's working. You look at Golden State, you look at what Miami had with the big three, and it's working. But prior to that, it really was about having a star, maybe two, and some role players that you could lean on when the stars couldn't get their shit together. And a lot of teams don't have those role players you can lean on. Steven Adams proved in that game, you know what? I don't have to get a whole bunch of touches, but some nights when I got a mismatch, you can give me the rock and I got us. So I'm not going to say they should blow it up. I do think the Paul George experiment is not working, and I don't think he's going to re-up there because I don't think it's he ain't happy. I don't think Melo's going anywhere because I don't think he really got value like that. So, I mean, you're still going to have a savvy veteran. Shit. You think somebody want Melo?
Spade, you don't think, especially if it's coming at a mid-level exception for maybe $5 to $8 million, maybe $10 million, you don't think Brian want him with the Cavs over Jay Crowder?
No, I don't.
Come on, Spade.
I don't.
I think Melo could find a spot,
I think Brian and Melo is like this, but I think when it's go time,
you don't think the Spurs would want Melo over Rudy Gay?
No, I don't.
Shit.
I don't. Because you know what, man? You know what Rudy Gay has proved he can be?
You sound like ESPN earlier in the season.
Look.
Disrespect the Melo. You got him at 70?
Nah.
You got him at 70?
Nah, I ain't got him that far back. But Melo, some of the things that Melo has said, I think Melo's a great player, man. But I'm talking about Melo has he's that guy the offense got to be around him. If you look at any situation where Melo was kind of expected to be this system player, it just hasn't worked well. He's just not a good system player. And if you got a team that maybe, like once upon a time, Denver's changed now. But you remember when Denver was a team full of role players and you was like, damn, how are they so good? Like they don't have a star. I know they had shipped Melo.
Yeah.
But a team like that with a Melo, I think it works. But you're gonna take, like you said, the Spurs. Like Rudy Gay come off the bench. You think Melo want to come off the bench? I don't think Melo want to come off the bench. So then you taking Melo, who don't get me wrong, I know OKC ain't the popping city. Like when you go on Instagram, the chicks all over your explore page. When you look at their location, it ain't Oklahoma City. Let's go ahead and get that out there.
If we being honest,
But San Antonio, that's another market that ain't really, you know what I'm saying? You heard what Charles Barkley said about the San Antonio chicks. I don't know, man. And I don't want to disrespect Melo. I still think he's a great player. I think Melo is at the point of his career where he's not interested in buying into your system. I don't think you want to buy into your system. And that's anybody's system. Melo, in his mind, he's like, I'm one of the greatest Olympic ball players of all time. I think that's a cheesy ass thing to claim title to, but Melo has claimed that title. Hey, I've been to a bunch of Olympic games. I got a bunch of Olympic medals. I won a national championship in college doing all this shit my way. I'm in my 30s, and I ain't trying to look. With me, what you see is what you get. This is what I'm going to do. If my man score on the next time down, I'm dribbling through my legs twice and I'm shooting. I don't care who open. I'm an ISO ball player. I ain't trying to set no off-ball screens. I ain't running off no screens. I just want the ball. I want everybody else to move. That's what Melo's going to give you. Not saying that he can't give more. I don't think he's willing to give more, bro. He ain't willing to do nothing else at this point. He just want to ride into the sunset.
I think you being kind of hard on Melo, bro. But
I'm being kind of real on you, bro.
All right, that's hitting on that. Spade, both of us think Paul George is not re-signing, correct?
Howdy.
Melo, you said Melo don't have options. I think Melo have a few, maybe 2 or 3. I think he has options. You don't. So you think Melo will be there next year?
Yes, I do.
Spade, my last point. If you think Paul George is not re-ing up, then you gotta move him, bruh. You gotta move him. And I know you really haven't seen the real potential of this team yet because they they still trying to figure it out. But if you think Paul George is not re-ing up, and maybe they felt that way, like, you know what, we're gonna try and make this work. Maybe we can strike, hit lightning in the bottle, and if it works, maybe he'll stay. And maybe they feel that way, but I feel if the Thunder feel Paul George is not re-ing up, they gotta move him. Now to where, I don't know. Especially with the way Brandon Ingram has been playing. I know it's a lot of Lakers talking around Paul George. If the Thunder could trade Paul George for Brandon Ingram has been playing great. And the crazy thing is, I'm about to make a bold statement, baby.
That shit ain't happening.
Spade.
Don't even say it.
Spade. If I had to pick Brandon Ingram right now or Paul George, I'm picking Brandon Ingram. So if I'm the Thunder and I can trade Paul George for Brandon Ingram, I'm busting that trade. I'm doing that trade.
Listen, Magic Johnson is a whole lot of things, but a fool he is not. Magic ain't finna trade no young ass Brandon Ingram with an up arrow for Paul George, who got the
there's a lot of talk about Paul George going to the Lakers. Now I know you heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. We all heard it. And I also said on this show, this was the year that Brandon Ingram had to get right, and he got right.
Yeah, he
and I'm telling you, that talk is suppressing, man. Ain't nobody,
Spade, I'm interested. You're right, because the Lakers would just be like, yo, if he gonna come in anyway.
Eating too?
I think the Lakers, should the Lakers even want Paul George? Like, the Lakers could be like, yo, if he leaving anyway, we could just sign him. But why would they even want him?
Yeah, I really don't see, Nah, man.
I'm interested to know how the fans feel, the supporters of the show. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know. I think the Knicks should definitely share Melo. I think I agree with you, Spade. I agree that Paul George deserved everything he got from Indiana. He was the one that was forcing all that trade talk, and he also
talking spicy too.
And he was throwing all that shade at not only Larry Bird, but the coaches and his former teammates. I think Melo hasn't showed New York nothing but love. He could have been banging the cannon on Phil Jackson every chance he got. He could have been banging the cannon on Jeff Hornacek and the other bum trash they had around Melo. So he didn't do that. I think they should show him love tonight. And Porzingis also came out and said,
they will.
I think they will too. Porzingis said that he think they should show him love tonight as well, and they should do a little montage of Melo, and I agree with that. But I'm interested to know how the fans feel, Spade. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, Spade, you ready to move on?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
This is a topic that I know my homie gonna be long-winded on, because he just it's about a quiet guy, bro. It's about the Houston Rockets. I was about to say it's about James Harden, but it's about the Houston Rockets. We're not gonna make this segment Spade, K-Spade, the prospect. We are not about to make this segment about James Harden, okay? It's about the Houston Rockets.
Quiet person.
If you guys didn't know, the Houston Rockets they've been cooking. I mean, like, speaking of James Harden, they've been cooking.
Wow.
They on a 12-game win streak, bro.
Really?
I gotta ask you, Spade, are the Rockets the biggest threat to the Warriors? And I ain't just talking about in the West. I mean, period. Like, are they the biggest threat to the Warriors? Like, is our only chance of not seeing the Warriors the Rockets?
You know what? This answer's gonna shock you, but I think that's a trick question. I think during the regular season they are the biggest threat to Golden State. I'm still unsure of what James Harden shows up in the postseason. Now, I do want to say this. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I know what you're gonna say. Everybody's gonna say the whole point in Paul. I was finna call him Paul George and Chris Paul coming over was to alleviate some of the weight that James Harden had to carry throughout the 82-game regular season, so that he don't be spent and on E in the postseason. And I hope it works. And it looks good right now. Like you just said, they're on a 12-game win streak. But let's also not forget, in the month of November, when they only lost one game for that entire month, it was all James Harden because Chris Paul was hurt. Okay. So if Chris Paul can stay healthy, which has always been a thing with you, Chris, you don't really stay on the court. If Chris Paul can stay healthy, at the same time, Chris Paul is no spring chicken. He's got to not exert too much. They both got to kind of reserve for the postseason. If you can get a well-rested, healthy Chris Paul and a well-rested, healthy James Harden in the postseason, then yes, they are a threat. But that's them two big-ass ifs, bro. They two big ifs. And I'm not ready to, I wouldn't bet money on it. I'm not betting my money, no.
Spade, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Clippers was in the playoffs last year, and Chris Paul got hurt in the playoffs, and he was the best player on the Clippers. I think he broke his hand or his wrist or something. But I mean, he
always hurt. Something gonna always happen.
Spade. I mean, Chris Paul is a miniature guard, but he's phenomenal, and it's a big if Chris Paul can stay healthy. But I think,
what you think?
Spade, I think they are the only threat. If the Warriors go back to
over the
finals,
Cavs,
yes, babe. Listen, if the Warriors go back to the finals, they will win the championship again. They will win again. I don't care who is over there in the East. If the Warriors go back to the finals, they are going to win. They are going to win.
Okay.
They are going to win. Like, who we trusting? Kevin Love and Jay Crowder and Dwayne Wade? Like, Dwayne Wade played like
Bron in the postseason.
No, I trust
more
Bron,
than you trust either of those guys on the Rockets.
Spade, I trust LeBron. I don't trust the rest of them dudes. I don't trust Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose might disappear in the playoff game. Rockets. I still don't know what we getting from Isaiah Thomas. But
that's true.
Spade, you know
who you trust on the Rockets.
James Harden has always been the playoffs. I think Chris Paul being in his presence. One thing we always say about Chris Paul is he a dog. The way he's going to attack, I think, is going to energize James Harden to be more aggressive, at least in the playoffs. Because there's been some games we watch games, playoff games of James Harden, and we'd be like, what the hell is James doing?
Oh, yeah.
I think the way Chris Paul is, this is why I hope and pray that Chris Paul can stay healthy. Because I think the way he's going to attack in the playoffs, I feel like that's going to lift James Harden up and show him something. I think it's going to put something in James Harden that I don't think he knew he had. The way I feel like Dwayne Wade, when LeBron went to Miami, he put something in LeBron that was there, but LeBron didn't know he had. And then LeBron just became a different type of beast playing down there in Miami with Dwayne Wade. He learned something, in my opinion. I mean, he always been a beast, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying he learned something playing with Dwayne Wade in Miami and took it back to Cleveland. And I feel like Chris Paul can do that for James Harden, at least playoff James Harden. Like, regular season James Harden, I have no worries. He's going to be an MVP candidate. He's not going to win it, but he's going to be an MVP candidate every year.
That's because they be screwing my dude out of him. Let me tell you this, and then I'm ready to move forward.
Go ahead.
You said one thing we always say about Chris Paul is that he is a dog. That's true. Well, it's another thing we always say about Chris Paul. You know what that is? That he always find a way to get hurt in the postseason. Now, maybe we want to say it was the Clippers. Because we felt like the Clippers was unlucky. We talked about it. The Clippers are just going to always clip. Clippers going to clip. Something going to happen.
Yep.
Hopefully he left that shit in L.A. If he didn't, bro, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be something. He going to be walking on the court. He going to get heel spurs. He going to roll an ankle. He going to bang knees with a teammate or an opponent. He going to break his hand. He going to shoot and try to follow through. I'm not putting it in the air. It's already in the air, and it's walking around behind Chris Paul like this, bro. Look at my hands. It's walking behind Chris Paul like this, just ready to reach out and grab this man, and it's been behind him his whole season. His whole career, I mean. It's been behind him. So if that don't get him, yeah, I like what you're saying. Other than that, I don't care about you not trusting Crowder, JR, Shump, Rose,
nope.
Mini-Me,
we don't know
Isaiah Thomas,
what we getting from him.
Love, Tyronn Lue. I don't care if we don't trust any of those people. We trust LeBron James more than anybody in a Rockets uniform. Any of them dudes. I trust LeBron James.
You know,
what else we got? Is it on me?
I love that Spade throwing shade at the Rockets. I just love that.
Nah, man, I take my job serious, bro. I come here, I got a job to do. I've said that before, man. Got a job to do. Let's talk some more NBA.
Go ahead.
I got more. Oh, man, this one right here, I kind of get a feeling you're going to like this right here, man, because, you know, you're from New Jersey, and to all my New Jersey listeners, you guys are like baby New Yorkers. I don't know if you know that. You guys are baby New Yorkers.
We're the sixth borough.
Exactly. That. Y'all love some New York, so I know you're going to feel some kind of way about this. Way back in, I think, September, the Ball family got their own reality show. Now, if you listening to this podcast and you watching it on YouTube and you saying, wait a minute, I didn't know they had a reality show. What channel did that come on? Now, it don't come on TV. It come on Facebook. And I know Facebook, like, I ain't even know Facebook was popping like that. I don't even like Facebook. But the show is a Facebook exclusive. You have to watch it on Facebook. Well, back in September, in one of the episodes of their reality show, Lonzo Ball said that Future and Migos were hip-hop. He said they are hip-hop, and I think somebody asked him about Nas, and he said Nas is outdated. Ain't nobody checking for Nas no more. Don't nobody like Nas. And that got everybody in an uproar. Folks was like, Nas is one of their GOATs. And I disagree with this. Somebody said, Lonzo don't want war with Nas. Nas won a war against Jay-Z. I don't know if everybody heard Super Ugly, but I feel like Jay-Z won that war, but that's neither here nor there.
You're wrong.
I feel like Jay-Z won that war. Okay?
I mean, we got that discussion on another day.
We sure can. Jay, you won, bro. But anyway.
Nas won.
So,
go ahead.
Lonzo Ball's manager was seen wearing a t-shirt with the УPodOmatic album cover, but instead of Nas's face, it was Lonzo Ball's face. So, of course, when everybody saw that, they was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Well, the Lakers just played against the Knickerbockers in New York. It was Lonzo Ball's first ever trip to the Garden, and the kid showed up in a hoodie with the УPodOmatic album cover with his face where Nas's face is supposed to be. And instantly everybody was like, oh, he came to New York to disrespect one of the greatest MCs of all time, Nas, who's a good actor, who was in Belly acting very piss poorly in that movie. But they don't give Lonzo the right to come out here and disrespect. That's not my words, bro. That's somebody else had said that. Because Nas was acting his ass off in Belly when he said, let's just go to Africa. Let's go to Africa.
Whoa, very convincing. What are we turning this segment into?
I'm sorry. That slipped. I didn't mean to say that. But, bro, everybody was really upset with Lonzo Ball. They felt like he was disrespectful to not only rock that shirt, but to go to New York to play the Knicks and to rock that shirt. Others feel like it's karma that he lost that game. However, he played pretty well. The Lakers played pretty well, but they lost. I think it was the OT, if I'm not mistaken. But they lost that game. LeBaris, talk some sense into the sixth borough. And the other 5 boroughs, Let him know. Lonzo just got a little sense of humor. Ain't nothing to be upset about. It's not disrespectful, right? Tell him, bro.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something I know about the younger generation is they don't respect their elders.
Whoa,
and to just throw, they don't. It was definitely shade that Lonzo wore that shirt, and you probably gonna go the other way, Spade, because you're a self-proclaimed ball. You know what I mean? You're a ball.
I am the fourth ball boy.
Yeah, you are definitely a ball boy. But Spade, you know what I'm saying? I felt like it was some disrespect. You know what you was doing when you come to New York and you rock that shirt and you take Nas' face off. You are definitely trying to throw some shade. You are definitely trying to be disrespectful. And I just feel like these young kids now don't respect their elders. Spade, we can have conversations and it's all good. Spade, you had conversations with notable people and they be like, well, MJ is XYZ, but Kobe... Because Kobe was their generation. That's their generation. But then you had some guys that was like Kobe and MJ was XYZ, but Allen Iverson, and now it's the same thing with people loving LeBron and Kevin Durant, and especially now Steph Curry. I mean, we had a conversation in your live stream. People was on Dame Lillard. People was on Steph Curry. It was literally arguments in the chat talking about NBA players that was just all-time great, all-time phenomenal. To me, Michael Jordan is the best NBA player ever, but I guarantee you if I talk to my uncles or older person, they'll say Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell or one of Magic Johnson. Like it's always gonna be that. And I think the difference is when our generation, me and your generation, when we talk about our elders like a Magic Johnson or a Bill Russell, we recognize that they were amazing. We don't never be like, oh, they was trash. Like, we don't never say that. We just be like, yo, Michael Jordan was our guy.
Just say it was outdated. He didn't say it was trash.
Spade, he said Nas is not hip-hop. Come on, bro. Come on, that's disrespectful. Regardless whether you listen to Nas or not, regardless whether Nas' career was over before you was born. Like, I mean, even when Cold Crush and all them dudes was killing it, I wasn't born. That's like the 70s. But I recognize what they did for hip hop, and I would never come out and be like, those guys aren't hip hop. That's just a disrespectful statement. And to wear that shirt and Photoshop your face on that album cover, come on, man. That's definitely disrespectful. But
let me restore some order on this show. He never disrespected Nas.
You a ball boy, so you kind of biased.
Let me defend my brother. Lonzo, I got you. LeVar, remember this next time you're giving out allowances. He never disrespected Nas. What he said was, Future and Migos are hip-hop today. Nas, at one point in time, he was hip-hop. But Nas is outdated. Nobody checking for Nas anymore. Nobody rocking with Nas anymore. He's technically correct. When the last time Nas dropped a project? Huh? That's what I thought. So how can you... He got a
new album coming out, Spade. He got a new album coming out.
What?
He got a new album coming out. See, it's like when y'all see, it's different. It's different words. I don't be knowing when every time Outkast come out, but I ain't from that region. But now
Outkast ain't making no more albums coming out. I'm glad you said that. That's a perfect example. If Lonzo said Future and Migos are hip hop, nobody's checking for Outkast. Outkast is outdated, man. I think Outkast is the greatest rap group of all times. But you know what? He right. Nobody ain't checking for Outkast because they ain't dropping nothing. They not doing nothing no more. They day is gone.
If I guarantee you, if you would have said that, you'd have been like, "How he is being disrespectful to one of the greatest hip hop groups ever." No, and then if you would have wore some Aquemini shirt and then photoshopped him up there, you would have been pissed.
No,
you love Outkast.
I would have took.
Go ahead, Spade.
I would have took appreciation in the fact that kid went back and did some research. In order for this man to have an Illmatic album cover, he had to go back and listen to Illmatic. He probably did it on Spotify. He probably
he ain't got to listen to his face. He could have Googled that picture and just put his face on it.
I don't want to believe he Googled. I think he went back and listened to the song, got Nas
some spins on Spotify. New York. Me and Nas had an issue. Let me get this shirt.
$32 thanks to Lonzo Ball when he went through and spun Illmatic.
See, the disrespect, bruh. Oh,
hey, that's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel. I don't feel like he was disrespectful at all. I like that he ain't backing down from no challenge, too. Like, everybody say, Lonzo's so quiet. Lonzo, he just kind of soft. He passive. He not very assertive. He walked in that doggone arena with his chest out like this, bro. So you can see.
And got that work.
He didn't get no work. They went to overtime. What else
that work. Spade,
you know,
before we move on, Spade, you know, I noticed that you always be disrespectful to New York artists. Aside from Jay-Z.
Whoa, what do you
Aside
mean?
from Jay-Z, you just, me and you had issues. Like I said, these could be topics for other days, but you was disrespectful to Nas. You also was disrespectful to Mobb Deep. And
I love Mobb Deep.
But we can move on.
No, wait. No. Wait, Jay-Z, I'm a fan. Fab, I'm a fan. Jada, I'm a fan. Prodigy, I'm a fan. Melo, I'm a fan. Redman, I'm a fan. No, I'm not finna co-sign no Sheik Luch. No, he was trash to me. No, I'm not co-signing Sheik Luch.
You said Lloyd Banks trash.
I didn't say he was trash. I said he overrated. Y'all think he nicer than he is. He just be saying punchlines. He ain't saying nothing.
You know, Spade, this got to be a topic for another day.
All right, let's
go. We don't got enough time.
All right.
We can move on. We got a pick'em game this week. The pick'em game is back. If you guys didn't know, Spade is currently up 10-5.
You might want to make it 0-0. It's a new season, bro.
No. It ain't gonna be a new season.
Right. 11-3 me.
It ain't gonna be a new season till the NFL season is over. It's the regular season. NFL regular season is over. Then we start a new season.
All right, so it's 11-3 I can catch up. Wait, what?
Bro, it's 11-5. Okay. But anyway, I got a great NFL game for us, Spade.
Okay.
The Patriots just played the Dolphins, and the Dolphins
gave them that work.
I mean, they really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what was wrong with the Patriots, but maybe the Patriots was thinking ahead to the bigger game, which was against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's happening Sunday night or Monday, whenever. Sunday or Monday is happening.
Okay.
Spade.
Yeah.
New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Who you got and why?
This is easy. You look over at the New England side of the field, what they got to play for? What's their motivation? What's driving these guys? Nothing. Just showing up doing their job. Look at them guys over there waving them terrible towels. This is for Ryan Shazier. They're going to go out there and take care of business for 5-0. Give me the doggone Steelers, bro. Give me the Steelers. See, that messed him up. He wasn't ready for that, y'all. Go ahead.
That's crazy. You know what? I got to go Patriots because I got to catch up.
Oh, my God.
I mean, but let me tell you why I'm going to Patriots. I was going to go to Steelers, but I thought you would have went to Patriots.
You don't know me. I keep telling you that.
Whenever Tom Brady had that type of game, and we about to see an insane Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady is about to play out of his damn mind. He got Grunk back, Spade. He got Grunk back. Grunk coming back. Grunk was throwing mad shade in his little interview press conference, whatever you want to call it.
Dirty Grunk.
They was asking,
Dirty Grunk, what they call him.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they was asking. They was asking them about the suspension. Grunt wasn't trying to hear none of that. We are about to see angry Tom Brady, and I got the Patriots winning this game. I think it will be a tough game. I'm saying 28-24 Spade. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm going 28-24 Pat. Give me the Patriots.
Check this
You
out.
want to give me a score?
Nah, I ain't giving no score. I'm going to give a fun fact.
Go ahead.
Jakeem Grant, wide receiver for the Dolphins. You know how tall that dude is?
Like 5'8" or something?
I'm thinking like 5'6". He mossed Malcolm Butler. Everybody was like, why you ain't got Malcolm Butler in your top 5?
They was looking ahead.
How you get mossed by a 5'6" receiver?
They was trying to go back to the future.
If Grant is mossing them, do you know what AB finna do to him? Get him out of here. Last segment of the show today, ladies and gentlemen. We call this segment the Strong Arm Performer of the Week. It's pretty iconic. Right. This thing right here is going to be talked about long after me and LaParis has left this world, and our kids is running stuff. They're going to be talking about Strong Arm Performers of the Week. This award is given to a male or female athlete who raised his or her level of play to ensure that their team got the victory. LaParis, you're on the hot seat. Who is your Strong Arm Performer of the Week and why?
I'm going to give it to a guy that you threw hella shade at.
I don't throw shade.
I'm like, anyway. You threw hella shade today.
I don't throw shade.
I'm going to tell you, Spade. I had this guy on my top 5 list, and you was like, what? Still?
Oh, my
But yes,
God.
he is still a top 5 point guard in this league.
Wow.
And I'm giving my Strong Arm Performer of the Week to Chris Paul, who had 28 points.
Wow.
He went 10 of 18 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3, 4 rebounds, 8 dime Spade, and 7 steals.
Wow.
7 steals.
Wow.
In a 124-109 win over the San Antonio Spurs. But I could have picked any game that Chris Paul has been playing since he's been back. This guy has been playing out of his mind. And for that reason right there, Chris Paul, you are my strong arm performer of the week. I told you he was top 5, Spade. Show some respect.
That team been doing that same mess when he was hurt. I will say,
show some respect.
I will say this. That's a good pick, and that was actually my first pick. I was really going to give it to Chris Paul, jokes aside. But since you gave it to Chris Paul, I got somebody much better. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't get this award to him, considering, you're supposed to be a fan and all that. First time award recipient on this show. Let me give you the stat line for this guy right here.
Not Karl Anthony Towns. Nah. I know it ain't Towns.
What if you had a guy who could come off the bench, give you this type of production right here? 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 steal off the bench, and that ain't even his best attribute. They also call him Lucky Lefty. I'm talking about the owner of the one-hitter quitter, Bobby Portis. Bobby, get up here and get that award, bro. Bobby Portis, bro, Chicago won. That's your team, right?
They did.
This man, he the owner of the two-piece center.
We've been on a winning streak since Chris Dunn said, F him.
All I know is that man came off the bench and gave y'all 27 and 12 in 29 minutes. Why is he not starting? Oh, because Nico's starting. That's why. Glass jaw. I'm telling you, I would start Lucky Lefty.
They call him 1 punch, 2 punch. They call him 1 punch, 2 punch.
Yeah, they say y'all got a nice 1-2 punch out there. 1-2 punch got it in that game. And for that performance, Bobby Portis, you are my strong arm performer of the week.
Not a bad pick. I like BP. Nico been playing well since he been back too, man. And we've been on this win streak. It's feeling good to be a Bulls fan, at least for this week. I don't know if we're going to keep it up. How the Heat doing?
Hey, man, go ahead and wrap up the show, bro. And don't make this thing personal now. We ain't got time for all that today. Come on now.
I'm just asking a question. But listen. It's been a great show. Of course, as usual, we want you guys to share all your thoughts in the comment section down below. You can tweet us. You can definitely email us. However you want to do it. But Spade, before I close the show, you got anything else to add?
No, sir.
Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Strong Arm Sports. If you new here, bang the subscribe button and take 2 seconds. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. There's also a little bell up there. You can hit that little bell up there, and you get a notification sent to your mobile device, and it lets you know when a new episode was uploaded to YouTube. If you don't want to see two dudes arguing in a box, you don't want to see the videos, you don't want to see our mug shots, it's okay. We got audio podcasts everywhere. SoundCloud, ऊPodOmatic, iTunes, we everywhere. We want to thank you guys for your continued support. Spade, great show, bro.
Yes, sir. That's what we do.
You was wrong about some topics, but it's been a great show.
Wrong.
But we want to thank you guys for your continued support. Chris Paul, top 5, I told y'all.
God.
We'll see you guys next episode. Be out. Peace.